Hi, Eddie. Hello and welcome back to Art Therapy with Jen. Today's video is a laid back kind of whole process of how I made this little journal here. Take a look at it. This is the finished. I just put mixed media pages in there, and I made this out of a taco shell box, so it'll be a different kind of video, and I hope y'all enjoy it. I shot it over 4 or 5 evenings, just kind of working on it throughout. Very minimal editing. I just kept it all in there, my flubs and all, and I just wanted to shoot a little intro for this video. I don't know if y'all can hear Eddie. Some of the cats make appearances, and just sitting down and crafting and kind of talking y'all through it. There's no right or wrong way to make these. I just thought it'd be neat to show y'all how I made this particular one. So we're going to get right into the video. If that's something that interests you, stick around and see how this little feller came together. I just felt compelled to make a journal today, and I thought we'd play around with it. Now, I'm going to be filming this over like however long it takes, so if the lighting looks different and stuff, don't be alarmed. Like right now, it's really late at night on the weekend. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a journal. I should share that. So that's where we're getting started, and I kind of wanted to show it from the beginning. So yeah, this is just a taco shell box. I have people in my life, they know to save boxes for me. I'm like, don't you throw away those boxes. And I thought this one was a really good size. There's my hand and then the spine there. And I'm basically just going to start with cutting these little flaps off and taking it apart. There's one, let me see if I can show you. Okay, you can kind of see it here. So there's one of these shorter sides that isn't solid. It's been glued together, and you'll remove that flap to make it flat. But I just wanted to show y'all real quick the box as it started. So we can go from there. So I'm going to go and get this cut up and then choose some materials, because I'm not even sure what colors and materials I want to use to cover it and all that, but I'm sure going to have fun picking them out. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be back with y'all in just a moment. Okay, and we're back, and Ollie's over here blocking my light. So for some reason he likes to get up there and sit like right under the light, like it's his own personal spotlight. But oh well, more power to him. So here is my taco box. I've just cut all the little flaps and stuff off. I can't cut a straight line to save my life, so I used a little paper cutter I had. And I also saved the flap that was right here, because I'm going to use that to reinforce the spine later. But first, I'm going to decorate the outside, and I'm just going simple on this one. I have some scrapbook paper. I just think this floral pattern is so cute, and if this journal turns out to be the project I think it might, I never know. But if it does, I think this floral pattern will be really great for that. And then I have some, gosh, it's picked up fuzz and whatnot. This is from an old pair of my blue jeans that I didn't fit into anymore, and I cut this from one of the legs using scissors. And again, I can't cut a straight line, so I went and bought me Walmart one of those rotary cutters for about $10 and a cutting mat. So this is kind of a stretchy material, so we'll see. And I think we're going to be adding some lace and some other things later, but that's later. So I'm going to start with these, and I went ahead, I had 2 pieces of this, so I just cut them like stacked on top of each other, so I made sure that they were the same size. Nice. All right. And for these, I cut them intentionally larger than the page because we're going to be folding and tucking them in later. But not right now. So, there we go. And normally I would use Mod Podge or something, but I happen to have some of this Elmer's Extreme glue stick. So I think I can get away with just using that. Or tacky glue. Sometimes I use tacky glue, and I should say that, you know, I get on there and I use a glue brush and I brush it out and I go on. Most of the time I just go in there with my fingers. But I think for this one, and we'll find out if it don't hold, well, we can always re-glue it. It ain't no big thing. I'm just going to use this Elmer's Extreme, and it's a glue stick with a little bit heavier duty glue, supposedly, than the ones like the school glue. Alright, and I want to make sure I get this. We're just going to go for it. Like, I want to make sure I get this centered, but I'm going to fool around and get something else crooked if I try to do something. And some people use rags and stuff to put it down. I just use my hands and then I flip it over. And I do that on the desk. And then sometimes I even go in with the closed glue stick. I just want to make sure just as much of that paper is contacting with glue as possible. So we got the best chance of it lasting forever, because y'all know, you see from my intros, I throw my journals around and everything. I am not precious with them. So I want something that'll stand up to dynamite, you know what I mean? So alright, there we go. So this one, okay, and it's gonna go like that. I always double check because I cannot tell y'all how many times I have glued one upside down, and you know, you just hope people don't notice. And I get real confused sometimes. I don't know if y'all do this, like the papers that's got flower patterns on there, which way it's supposed to point, like which way is up for these. These are pretty, well, this one's kind of going down. I don't know. I get confused with them sometimes. I'm like, what if it's a droopy flower? It can be pointing down. And I'm not being stingy with the glue there. So we'll just do our best. It doesn't have to be right up to the spine because I'm going to be covering the spine with the denim. Lord, it does need to be a little straighter. Well, it's down there, so that's how it's going to be. Oh, I like when I can use glue stick too because it dries pretty fast, but it just is what it is there. Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure that's good and stuck on there. And you can use like a bone folder if you got one of them and all of that. I may dig mine out in a moment when we fold this over. It ain't necessary though. Okay, so I'm going to go around since we're going to be flipping it over. And I'm going to cut these corners off. So, and there's probably some special angle you're supposed to do or some tool. I just kind of eyeball it. And you want to cut it like I did that one a little close. You want to leave a little bit, like you don't want to cut it right to the corner there. You want to leave a little bit of overhang, I guess. And I just kind of eyeball it there, because we're going to be flipping those over later. And I'm going to put this in my little scrap bin because that's too pretty to throw away. Ollie, buddy, you are just blocking all my light, aren't you? Come here, buddy. Let's see if I can get him to crawl. See, you can see the light. There he is. You can see the light coming in a little bit. Now, ideally I want to wait for this to dry before I flip it over. Projects like these, I'll have them going and I'll kind of do a step here and a step there, and just kind of, I have a shelf I just set stuff on in between and just let it dry and dry and dry, and I get to it when I get to it. But for the purpose of this video, since I'm filming, we're going to go ahead and flip those over, and let me dig in my little thing here. I thought I had a bone folder over here. Aha! There you are, buddy. You want to smell my bone folder, Ollie? Go on. There you go. Y'all have that if you have cats. Like, every new thing you pick up, they want to like inspect it. So I just kind of try to, you know, just get it out of the way. So I'm going to fold this just kind of the best I can. And again, you don't need a bone folder. If you just have like a ruler or just use your fingernails, kind of get it in there, it's all good. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. And yeah, I'm glad y'all are liking these like longer, kind of more chill videos on the channel. I appreciate it. I finally got a little thing to be able to hold my microphone up to where it wasn't like I was had on this little stand, so it was all up in my business when I was trying to journal, and it just didn't work. And lo and behold, I just went on Amazon and got this little thing that holds it up from my desk, and it was like less than 20 bucks, and boom. Also, my internet that I have now is much faster, so I'm able to upload videos more. Like an hour-long video with my old internet took 8 to 10 days to upload. So whole different situation now. It takes less than an hour, which blows my mind. Y'all can see I'm just kind of folding that down. Ollie's helping me here. Let's just take a preview. Oh wait. Ooh, ain't that cute though? Love it. So now that I did all that pre-folding, we're going to do some gluing. You want to smell my glue, Ollie? Yep, that's glue. You going to get your cat hair in it? Get me some tea there. I don't know what it is. When I had my desk over in the other area that I had it in forever, he didn't care a bit. Now the cats are all over me. And I'm going to put glue on that paper flap as well as on the like book parts, because I want to make sure, since this is that edge that we're sealing over, I really want to make sure that we get glue in contact with just as much as possible. Ooh, let me send that glue stick flying. And plus, this is a big old chunky glue stick. It's bigger than the standard ones, and it's kind of hard to be too precise with it. So boy, I swear, if you knock my glue stick off this table when it's open, me and you gonna have words. I'm gonna say all the bad boys and everything. My little assistant here. Hello, Ollie. Did that glue come off? Hey, we'll try to use that, buddy. This is good glue. Okay. We'll use that. I just get my hands in there, y'all. Like I said, I ain't too precious with it. Part of my art stuff, like I have to get my hands on stuff to see it. Hey, I'm happy. Normally, I am a hot mess with this stuff, and usually when I film, it just all goes awry. But so far, so good. Knock on wood. Because again, I don't measure things. I'm not that type of crafter. Now, when I'm doing woodworking, yeah, I measure things. Because wood's a little different. But just when you're working with paper and stuff, I ain't worried about it. I just kind of eyeball it, or I set stuff up against stuff, and sometimes that gets me in trouble, but that's okay. That's the trade-off I'm willing to do. And I need to find some more of these extreme glue sticks for projects like this. I've seen them at Walmart sometimes, but I am not paying what they've been going for. I just ain't doing it. Are you biting my bone folder? That is not very nice. Alright. Get that on there. Got glue on my bone folder. Got glue there. Alright, we just got glue everywhere. Alright. You want my bone folder, Ollie? Does it interest you? So let's take a look at it here. Alright, that's tacos. That's looking pretty good though. That worked out pretty good. So while I got y'all on here, before I set this to dry up, I'm going to attempt and hope I don't regret this decision. But we're going to go ahead and put the jean part at least right here. So, and I do have some little frays and stuff. Oh, Lordy mercy. I didn't know that would fray more, but I do have some little frayed parts and stuff. I'm not that worried about them because we're going to be going back and putting a like lace or burlap, I haven't decided, border. But a big thing now, I need to get this centered, Lord help, so that when we have the same amount of overhang on each side. Wow, we don't have hardly any overhang, do we? Or no, I just have it that much off center. Okay. So what I'm going to do to help me, I just said I don't measure stuff, but I reckon I might need to do it for this. Get my handy little ruler. So I do make exceptions to my rule. So it looks like this is 2.5 inches. No, a little less than 2.5 inches. Buddy, honey, those are scissors. So it's, let me do some math here. So it's 2 3/8. So 3/8 is 6/16, right? So I need 1 3/16 is the halfway point. So 1, 2, 3. I don't think they do that in Common Court. That's how I do my math though. Okay. We'll get that lined up. Oop. Okay, so that's my center point. So let's see what we got here. So this is, let's say 3 3/4. So 3/4, let me think, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6/8. So I need 3 3/4, 3 6/8. So I need 1.5 plus 3/8. 1, 2, 3. Buddy, don't chew on my tacky glue, honey. That is not, you will not be happy. Oh, and I'm going to do another point down here because this isn't completely square. Lord, what did I say? So I go 1.5 and then 3/8, right? Okay. Y'all like my math, my fancy math. And then, where is my Sharpie? I'm going to mark this on the back so it's not going to go through that denim. Honey, you're trying to drive me nuts, ain't you? That's alright. Oh, I guess I should not do this on the book. We just let him be. Any of y'all that own cats, you just know they're just going to do what they do, and that's alright. No, honey. As long as he don't get too bad, we're okay. Okay. Oh, sugar. Let me just beat on things. How about that? Okay, and you see it's denim. It doesn't, well, y'all can't really see because my buddy's blocking the light. There we go. It didn't show that mark through there. Okay, so when we line it up, we're going to be doing that. And that'll hang over that much. And that'll hang over. That just looks bigger on one side. What do y'all think? Let me see. No, I guess that's the same. Okay. We're just going to go for it. Like I say sometimes you just got to glue it down and just go for it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply a generous coat, and I'm just using tacky glue. There's all kinds of different glues you can use, varying price points that I've seen people on YouTube and elsewhere use. Lord, I'm gonna put this cap over here because this cat will take off with that sure enough. But tacky glue is really cost effective, and it's never done me wrong. So it's just sometimes really hard to squeeze out of the bottle. That's my only complaint. It does take a while to dry, so it's not one that you're going to put on there and then it's just going to dry up like super quick. So it's one you just kind of put it on there and then you leave it to do its thing. So again, I'm just going to get in there with my finger and just get that around. I actually got that little bottle, I think at Dollar Tree, which is cheaper to buy the slightly bigger bottles at like Walmart or somewhere. But I liked having that little bottle just for the size to have near my desk. I probably put way too much on there. That's alright. It's probably going to soak through that denim and you'll be able to see it, but it is what it is. Oh, shoot, far. I need to get it on the edges too, don't I? What I'm going to do, let me see. I'm going to stick the one part on and then we'll do the edges maybe. What we need to do. I've done committed. So, let's get that lined up and then we'll go from there. So, and this material is not an ideal one that you want to use for journaling or bookmaking because it is stretchy. So that is not ideal. It's really hard to get it in a straight line. Hey, that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do, hope I don't shift it too much. I'm going to go in here and put down my glue. I about use this bottle up. I probably put too much. I'm bad about putting way too much glue because I'm like, I don't want it to move in my lifetime. I want this to be here for future generations. Okay. And tacky glue dries clear, so I'm not worried about it doing that or going, you know what I mean. Okay, so hello, Ollie. There it goes. I don't have much grip strength, so this can be a little difficult for me. They need to invent a thing that will squeeze bottles and stuff for you. Maybe they have something, because Lord have mercy, I do not have the best grip strength, and sometimes it is super hard to open stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put that down. Alright, and I'm not going to worry about the part that hangs over that will be tucking in later. I'm just going to let it dry like this, and luckily that it's fabric, I'm not too worried about it drying stiff and me not being able to close the book later. So hey, that ain't too awful bad. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry. It may be overnight, it may be in an hour or two, I don't know. But I'll be back with y'all soon, hopefully, with some lighting that isn't blocked by a cat. Come here, Ollie. You want to say bye to everybody before we let this dry? You want it? Want it? He's being shy now. Oh, there he is. All right, I'll see y'all in a moment. All right, so it's been a couple hours, and the paper's pretty dry. There's a couple glue spots. This still is kind of wet. It needs to dry some more, but I felt like recording some more, so I want to get this stuff glued so that it can set overnight. So what I've done is, see, we'll set that there. I've gone ahead and cut the papers I want to use for the inside. So these are papers I got from my best friend Shannon. She was doing like a de-stash in her office, and she's like, you want these papers? And I'm like, yeah buddy, I do. So I'm gonna do those next. And just a note, if you're building a journal, I always try to think of like the logistics of how things are going together, and half the time I get it wrong, but I want to go ahead and put these down first. Then I'm gonna do the flip over for this, and then we'll do the spine reinforcement type of thing. So, and I do that because when this material, the denim material, gets folded over, if any of this paper sets on top of that, I mean, it's okay, but with this paper being a little thinner, it just kind of wrinkles and looks kind of meh on there. So I don't know, we're gonna try to do these first. Why not, right? And I'm just going to use, about used all this up, so I hope it will last. But I have this Elmer's Extreme. And I'm just going to get real generous with it. And I can feel we're getting close to the end of the glue stick. So please don't run out. At least let me get both of these sides done. That would be great. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball. Lord, that was way... Oh, no. I turned it the wrong way. Oh, no. There we go. Like I say, I just go with it and I have fun. And we don't always get it right. That looks all right to me. I already know that corner is going to be jacked up. There we go. And we'll do the other side. Oh, come on. I don't have another one of these glue sticks either. This particular, the extreme kind. So these are left over from years ago, that when I got these on clearance at Walmart for after school. Okay. Now I think this is correct. Yes. That one went much smoother. Okay. And just going to go over it with the closed glue stick. And then with my hand. And flip it over. Alright, that's cute. So here's how we're looking. I was going to say too, normally I do a little more overhang, like on this denim part on the front that's still kind of drying. Normally I probably would want to go maybe an inch in. But I'll be honest with y'all, I kept cutting it crooked, so I kept having to like whittle it down. So here's what we have. It's all kinds of confessions, ain't it? So now let me grab my tacky glue, and trying to think how much of this I truly need to overhang. Let me get a little bit bigger pair of scissors. I don't think I need quite that much. I'm doing a big no-no. I'm using my paper cutting scissors to cut fabric. Well, no I ain't, because it ain't wanting to happen. Let me grab my other scissors. And I say it's a big no-no because cutting fabric with your paper scissors that are really, you know, sharp and stuff, that is a quick way to dull your scissors. So I think that'll be enough. Hey, that ain't too awful crooked. That ain't half bad for me. I hope I didn't cut too much off, but we're committed now. And where's my little pair of scissors? Yeah. So I'm going to cut a slit, maybe, right in there, like where the book bends or the journal bends. Very, very fun to do in this lighting. Okay, and then I'm going to cut like at a 90 or a 45-degree angle in that slit so that it's like we're cutting a little triangle out. Maybe like that. I'm gonna have to get them little, this jeans, the last jean thing I did on a journal, they did not fray this bad. I wonder if I cut like the wrong side of the fabric, or I don't know. I just started using fabric in journal construction a few months ago. Normally I use, well, tissue paper, trash, stuff like that. So, well, I guess this is technically fabric trash because it's from an old pair of blue jeans of mine. Nowhere around where I live is accepting clothes donations now because of the whole everything that's going on, and I find that a lot of those places, they just end up throwing the clothes away anyway. So if I can repurpose them in some way, whether I line a box with them to make a cat bed or I cut them up for a journal, I think that is the good way to go. Just my 2 cents. Alright, so we got this where it looks like a vampire took a bite out of it. And essentially I'm just gonna fold it over, but I'm gonna grab, and this will probably make a mark in my project, but I don't really care. I got a bunch of these little doodads, clips, that's what they're called. Alright, I don't know how many I'll need, but we'll go there. And then just going to get the tacky glue if I can get it open. Hardest part about tacky glue is just squeezing it. Okay. I probably should have went on the cardboard, but we're committed. Hey, it ain't seeped through so far on that when I really saturated it. So, and I'm just going to get my finger in there. I should have went on the cardboard. I wasn't thinking, because this will probably soak into the denim maybe. I don't know. And we're just going to fold it for now. And then I'm going to have to clip it in place because this tacky glue, it takes a while to dry. So if you don't clip your stuff down, it's gonna I don't have enough glue on there. It's just gonna pop right back up. Oh shoot, far, that's too much glue. I'll put some over here. So it's just, you have to keep it in place. So I go the ultra fancy route. I just put these little you can use clothespins, whatever. I just happen to have these next to my desk. I use these in my planners. Now also, if you're worried about it leaving marks or something, you may want to use, I don't know, put like a piece of felt in between it or something. I don't know. I don't worry about it leaving marks. So I mean, these are for me. I'm not selling them or anything. Like, I don't do that. So they can just be marked all to pieces. I don't care. So get that in there. Oh, see if I got one more so we can, there we go. It's kind of like if you're doing woodworking and you got to clamp stuff while it dries. Same principle. But there we go. And I'm hoping that this is going to cover. I may not have should have cut those that. Yeah, just in case, I'm going to do a little redneck fix here. I should have brought more of that material over because it's showing that cardboard through. So we're just going to do a little redneck fix. I'm just going to take a Sharpie. And we're just going to look at that. Look at that. We're just going to just color on top of the glue and everything. That way, if some of that shows through, it ain't going to be as bad. Yeah. Okay. Just in case, we'll just go across there. There we go. We don't need nothing fancy. That'll do it right there. Okay. So while this is drying, which it'll probably take a hot minute to dry on there. See, I'm going to try to get that as close to the edge. That edge is trying to curl up and that does not make me happy. Okay. So while that's drying, this is the pointed journal. You got decisions to make. So what kind of binding do I want to do? What, because that's going to dictate the next piece of construction for us. So if you're doing like an easy twine binding where you're just wrapping stuff around, or even just like taking a single string and tying each signature in, don't really matter what kind of spine you want to do. And you can also, do you want to do a hidden spine where if you're sewing in pages, the stitches won't show on the outside, or do you want it to show through? So I want to do a, I guess, exposed spine, you would call it. I'm going to be actually stitching through this so that you can see the stitches, because I think I'm going to use some cute little like baker's twine or something. I think it'll be really adorable. So I'm not going to do that, so I don't have to worry about making a hidden spine, but I do want to reinforce the spine and I want to do it cute. So I kept this, I'm hoping this will be enough. I think it will, just the one piece. This is a pretty, I mean, it's not that sturdy, but it's pretty okay box. If I wanted to reinforce it more, I would just keep those other flaps that the box came with and I would just glue them together and make a thicker support. But I think this will be okay. And then what I'm going to do, let me set this aside. I got a piece of the paper left over that we cut off from the front cover. And this is about the right size. I didn't even have to cut it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this because I want this side to be glued to the spine. because it's that matte cardboard and this is shiny, and I think it'll just hold glue better. So what I'm going to do is glue this to this, the back side of this. And let's see, I think I have some glue stick left. That'll be sufficient there, because I don't want it to look like taco when you open the book, right? I mean, that's okay. That'd be a fun theme journal, wouldn't it? And we're just gonna kind of get that kind of centered on there, just as best as I can, really. I ain't doing no measuring or nothing like that. I gotta clean all this glue up off my desk. Oh, I just saw, I didn't realize that has that cut line from the book, like that little dotted line. Be okay. I'll add some character. If you want to get real fancy, you can go over it with a bone folder and do all that, which I may take that out in a moment just to try. Okay, and then while that's drying, let me think. How do I need this to go in the book? Let's just eyeball this. Okay, so it is going to be a little long. So essentially this is going to be glued in here, and then you're going to have this overhang that hides your seams there. So we're going to do like we did on the outside of the book and just kind of cut the corners off, but then leave a space. So like that. That's pretty. No. my marble's clashing. Okay, and then let me see if I can find that bone folder doohickey. There we go. Still got glue all stuck to it. I guess I need to clean that later. I'm rough on my stuff, y'all. Like I gotta buy stuff that lasts. And we're not going to be folding this outer part because that's going to be glued into the spine, but are going to be folding the top and the bottom, just so it gives it that clean line. Like that. So when it goes in the book, once this dries enough and I can move it, it's going to sit in there like that at the right height. And then that would help, wouldn't it? And it's going to sit in there at the right height, and then these pieces will be glued and they'll cover that seam. Plus it's going to provide additional support to the foldy part. So corner, you need to glue yourself down. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead, and I can't glue this actually in the book tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and get it wrapped and ready. I wish I could glue it, but I know that denim that I folded over, it's already like super late. I'm sure y'all can tell from the lighting. It's very late. And it's a Saturday evening. So hopefully I'll have plenty of time to work on this tomorrow. Get that glue on there. I don't like doing this with bone folder. It squeezes all the glue out. Maybe that's what's supposed to happen. Gosh, this is almost empty. Hold on there, buddy. Just hold on. Alright, and then that gets my little piece to dry. So what do y'all think of how it's looking so far? Super easy to do, especially like if you didn't want to fool with fabric on this, y'all. You could totally just do like another, like some type of pattern cardstock. I usually paint my journals, but I thought I'd go a little frou-frou today. So, but I'm gonna let that dry overnight, and I'll probably check in with y'all tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. I'm back for the next step. It's the next morning, so Hopefully y'all can see. And Kitten has been jumping up and down the desk, so y'all may see an appearance with her. She's my supervisor this morning. But I'm going to go ahead and take these clips off and see how it held and see if I got any really deep indentions on there. Honestly, I didn't. It don't really look like. Oh, got a bubble there. That is okay. Looks like it stuck real nice. Huh. I did the back. I didn't get it completely centered. This is a little more than this, but that's okay. It adds to its charm. This has worked out great. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to put these up. I'm going to grab my Sharpie again. I wish I cut this a little too close to the box. So let me just, like I said, my little redneck fix, just so if that pokes through, it's not, I'm probably honestly going to be the only person to notice it, but it is what it is. Oh, we got Eddie. Hello, Eddie. Did y'all hear him meow? Here, let me pull your Eddie shelf out. Come here. Come on. Well, now he don't want to come up here. Cats are funny. They sit there and they torment you to let them in places or let them own things. And the moment you clear the path for them, they're like, nah. Just kidding. I just wanted to see you do my bidding. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, well, here's our little spine. It's early. I haven't had my coffee yet. I want to get this glue on. A little spine insert that I'm going to be putting down. Oh, I got to get this straight too, don't I? Okay, what I'm going to do to kind of help guide me, I'm going to go ahead and flip or fold these little overhang parts over this part right here. All this having to line stuff up, y'all, it's not my forte. And that way I can better see my, yeah, that'll work. That'll work. So I'm going to glue that down. And then we're going to do some embellishment on this side. Okay, so this is my top. This is my bottom. I think I might flip the interior, or do I want to? I'm just going to put it like that. That'll work. And I'm not going to do the flappy part yet. I'm just going to do the this part. Oh, now I brought the bigger one too. This one I got at Dollar Tree of the tacky glue for $1 for 3 ounces. This one's 8 ounces. I want to think it's like $2 and something at Walmart. I don't know. It's better, like, it's better economically, but it's nice to have a little bottle too. I can just grab and have it there. I also have one that's even bigger than this. So I always put too much glue. Alright. And you can buy these little plastic glue spreader things if you're just really opposed to getting your fingers in there. I don't know. It don't bother me. I do woodworking and stuff too on occasion, so I'm used to just getting that glue all over me. I know it will adhere well. Hey, I don't think I put too much that time, or this cardboard back here is really soaking that glue up. Good deal. Alright. I usually always know to have on like clothes and stuff that I'm going to get paint and glue and stuff on. Do y'all have house clothes? I do, like, because I know, I mean, especially when I was painting in here and everything, like when I do actual, like, I don't know what you call it, DIY and all of that in the house. I probably made that a little too tall. That's okay. We're going with it. We have committed. I have like these cut off sweatpants that they just have paint all over them because I just get on in there, you know. We could say that I should be painting neater, but it's more realistic for me to. Oh, that's a little crooked. Another thing I like about tacky glue is it stays tacky and you can kind of move it. So I'm going to take a look. Let's see what it looks like closed. Make sure there's not any, because this is the time you can move it on around. But yeah, I am not a neat worker. See what that's gonna, I mean, that looks pretty good to me. It might be a little, just a hair crooked, but that ain't gonna hurt nothing. And again, I'm just gonna see. Yeah, and that reinforces it pretty good too. We got the extra layer of the thin cardboard, and then this this isn't a cardstock, but it's not quite just like plain scrapbook paper. It's kind of in the middle. It's probably like trying to think of paper weights. I used to know all this. It's in between a cardstock and a really high quality printer paper, if that makes sense. Maybe 80 weight. I don't know. We'll just use the bottom of the glue bottle too. Okay, and then I'm going to glue these down afterwards because I want to really fool with that and do some frou-frou and make sure that it can be kind of like, I don't know, sometimes you have to be kind of special with it because you got to get that paper bent exactly in there, and you don't want it to be all crinkly and all that. So I'll fool with that after the spine is adhered so that I know it ain't moving, if that makes sense. Okay, and now I'm going to add a little accent to the edge of that, and I have a bunch of this Dollar Tree ribbon. I got this from my best friend Shannon as well, in her little D-stash, which she's awesome. She has a whole shop where she makes farmhouse decor and from hand, and it's all just gorgeous. And these were some things she was ready to let go of, and I jumped on it. If you're watching, thank you. It's going to good use. But this is one of the rolls of ribbon. This is, I think, from the Dollar Tree. And Eddie, of course, he found it because I had it on this little tube thing where you could just, pull the ribbons off. Well, he was like, oh, look at that. That's a string. And he just unrolled it all. So we're going to use this. Let me find the other end. There we go. So I'm just going to try to get that as straight as possible and maybe not on one of those loops. And I'm going to put it as close to the edge as possible because I was kind of thin with the overhang on this. And now's the time to make the decision. Do I want it to where I'm just gluing the edge and this can still flop up, or do I want it like suctioned on there? And I think I want it suctioned on there. So and this is this particular lace ribbon stuff, it's also stretchy. So have to be careful getting the correct length, because once we go to put glue on it and smush it around, I swear, left-handed in a right-handed world. Okay, once we go to smush it on there, it's going to expand. So let's see, I'm just going to cut, that'll be okay. And I just eyeball it. So we're going to cut right in that hole there. Alright. So got two pieces. And I actually like the way this piece cut better, so I'm going to use it for the front. And I'm just going to saturate the full out of it. Because again, it dries clear. So the only time you really have to be careful with it is like if you're going on something just super matte. Like I don't want it to ooze out too much beyond the ribbon. because it dries clear, but it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. So okay. And one nice thing, this tacky glue has been pretty easy to clean up. I had to get it off of my desk this morning. I guess some of it's going to flop up. Am I okay with that? I think I'm okay with that. I didn't put the glue out enough. And I don't want it, this is kind of it's not quite matte, it's kind of satin, and I don't want that glue to create this big thing there. There we go. And we'll do the same on the other side. Oh, my squeezing strength is not my strong point. There we go. And then just gonna smooth it out there. Ooh, I got a lot on this one. I was squeezing. I had some anger going on or something. Might be too much. It's the back. It's okay. That's another thing. If you're getting into making stuff like this, always like try the thing that you're going to test out on the back part first. That's my little tip. Even though I didn't do it here. That's what I should have done. Tried it on the back first. And then I'm just going to kind of tap it. I want to get some even glue. But again, I don't want it to come out from under that. Ooh, you're not glued there, buddy. I don't want it to come out from under the ribbon too much. Ooh, that thing like gets a suction to it. See if we can. Ooh, and you gotta be real careful to when you're smushing it. Alright, I just want to make sure that it's adhered pretty good. I think that'll be good. It's kind of straight, ain't it? I like it. I don't worry about it too much. I'm not out here with a straight edge or something. So I'm going to leave this to dry however long it takes. Probably, what does it say on the back here? It don't. But it usually takes at least an hour or two. I got a whole bunch of stuff to do this morning. So that'll be perfect. So I'm going to set that over there so the spine can dry and the front can dry. And then we'll go on to the next step. Alrighty, y'all, it is later on in the afternoon and I've got a chance to get back to my little book here and a new cup of tea. Let's see what it's looking like. So the reinforcement inside, it has attached very nicely. That ain't going anywhere. And then the lace on the outside, oh, it's starting to look so cute, isn't it? I love it. I didn't get it completely straight, but I think it adds to the charm, right? You can tell it's my journal. I got the back pretty straight, of course. But it's looking cute, isn't it? I'm liking it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It was a taco box, right? So now I'm going to glue this part down. And let's see. Going to see if I still got some of that extreme glue stick left. Okay, I may just have to suck it up and buy another, like 1 pack of these and just keep them for special occasions. I don't know. It's not every day I make journals, but what I'm thinking I'm going to do for these, I need a ruler or a bone folder as well. I could have grabbed all this before I started filming, but is what it is, right? Okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to saturate this with the Extreme put it on there, and then I want to do a couple dots of the tacky glue just up here where the paper is going to touch the fabric. Just to have a little extra something where it hits that fabric. There's cat hair in my glue stick. That is a-okay. I'm using this instead of just the tacky glue everywhere because I'm hoping this will kind of hold the paper in place a little better, because you know, tacky glue, you can move it around and all that. I'm just gonna put a big dot right there, big dot right there. But I'm hoping, and I don't have much time, I probably should have dotted the tacky glue before I did the other, but it is what it is. Of course, I put way too much tacky glue. That is a-okay. I'm just going to smear it over the whole part of the denim so that it's all the same color. Okay. Just going to go through and make sure that it adheres really nicely. And then we got to make sure that it's properly creased where it folds, so that once it dries, it's not going to want to fold like just flat and then be real crepey and stuff. Alright, tacky glue, I see you. Okay, so, aha, see, it's going to want to pop up like that. We'll make sure as best as we can. There may be some touch-ups I have to do after the fact, of course. So, do that. I'm just wanting to get a crease in there right now. I know it ain't going to be perfect right now, but just get something in there so it kind of knows. Oh yeah. And then halftime, we just hope for the best. I think I'm going to bring out my little clips again. Ooh, there we go. Then I'm going to bring out my little clips again just to hold that part that's going on the denim in place. Oh, clips, where did you go? Oh, trying to be lazy and not open my thing the whole way. If I would have just opened it the whole way, and could have pulled them right out. But now I'm determined. Alright. So, place one there. I really like these projects. They're not quick projects, but they sure are fun. Hopefully that won't glue my clip to it. If it does, we'll just cross that bridge when we get there. Really gonna push these edges down. Alright. Yeah, these are wanting to lift up. Why are you doing that? Maybe I'll stick some. Maybe that extreme just ain't going to do it. Let me put some tacky glue and see if I regret this decision. I don't want to put too much. That just may be the better play. We'll see. Because it's wanting to come up. And we don't, this side isn't wanting to come up, so I think we're okay over there. We'll leave one side the glue stick and the other side the tacky glue. Why not? No one tell me I can't. Okay. And then I'm going to leave this to dry. Let me check here. There we go. And I'm going to leave this to dry completely, because before I start fooling around and folding the book up again, this really needs to be stuck. But look, it covered up all them seams. So the inside's going to be really cute. Let's look at the outside again. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. And now I got to make some decisions. I think for this book, okay, number one, I got to think, what am I going to be using this book for? And if it's working out like my brain's thinking, I just never know. But I think this is going to be a magazine collage book, at least mostly. So I have to think about that in terms of when we start doing the signatures, you know, the actual pages in the book, what type of material I want to use, because I don't want to use anything too thin. For magazine collage, I don't want to use too many pages. I'm going to have to touch that up. I don't want to use too many pages and like fill it full, because when you collage, it's going to expand the book out, and I don't want a book, like I want it by the time it's collaged to still be this thick, if that makes sense. And it needs to be something that can lay flat, that I can really collage on. And then you have to think, is this one, that's coming up now, is this one where you're going to be doing the, like all the pages and then binding it in, or this is kind of the point in the book where you have to think of what you're going to do with it, if that makes sense. I think for this one, I'm going to have blank pages, so it's not going to be like, you know, like a fancy junk journal style. I'm going to be doing collage. I'd like to have the pages already in there. And I also have to think about the size. So a lot of my materials I have to make pages are just regular letter size, 8.5 by 11. And I think those are going to be too small to put in here, folded in half. So I'm going to have that in my mind as I'm going through and making up my signatures and everything, and getting those ready to bind in, because once this is all dry, we can actually put the pages in there and actually make it a journal. But just kind of wanted to share my thoughts with y'all, and next time I'm back with you, I should have some signatures ready to sew in, and we'll kind of see what I've decided. I will see y'all maybe this evening, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. I don't know, but it's sure gonna be fun when I get back with y'all. For this video, it's probably just gonna be a few seconds, so lucky you. Alrighty, everybody, I am back. It's about a week later. And of course, it's dark outside, but we're gonna do our best. Hopefully y'all can see okay. But I've done a few things off camera that I want to walk y'all through, and we're going to finish up this journal. So if the things I'm walking y'all through are things you would rather see the entire process of, let me know, and the next time I'll keep it all in there. I just kind of did this to save time. But anyway, so let me show y'all how it's looking, like drying and stuff. I mean, I'm happy with it. I'll be honest with you, usually things don't come out cut this straight and glued this neatly and all this. I think it's because y'all were watching me and I was on my best behavior. So but what I've done, I've gone ahead and created the signatures, or the pages that we're going to put in. And for these pages, you have to take and fold things in half to make the signature pages. So not a single sheet, but a sheet folded in half. So as y'all can see, and for this particular one, 8.5 by 11 sheets, or letter size folded in half, was going to be too small for what I needed. Luckily, I had an old sketch pad, like spiral bound sketch pad, that was 11 by 14. I folded it in half, and the pages were plenty big enough, and I was able to trim those down to this size that hopefully once I stitch it in will fit pretty well. Again, I was on my best behavior, so these actually are almost all the same size. So so I created those, and I did a lot of signatures. I did 7 signatures of 3 pages each. We're going to try that. I'm the worst at like stuffing a ton of pages into one signature and doing a few signatures. So we're going to try out this time and see, because I think this journal will end up being a collage journal. So I need room to expand, and I want it to feel nice as I'm working in it, if that makes sense. So I got 1, 2, and 3 sheets. So, and then I have 7 of these identical for my pages. So, and it's not like, y'all can see, it doesn't fill up the whole thing, because again, I'm thinking this is going to be for collage, and collage is going to bulk it out. And when I do my collage journals, I don't want this big old monstrosity at the end. Now my junk journals, I kind of want to see how big I can get it. But for like my collage journals and things, I like it, like when I finish collaging, for it to just be a nice thick full book, if that makes sense. So when you're doing pages, you kind of have to think about what you're going to be doing in here. Like if you were going to use this as a junk journal and you're going to be adding these huge, like thick pieces in there, you definitely want to leave yourself room, or you're going to be stuffing pockets full of stuff. So just something to think about. And I've gone ahead and I have poked the holes because I'm going to do an exposed spine and I'm going to stitch them in. So another thing, there's all different types of bindings you can do. I have previous journals that I've showed here on the channel, like my witchy journal, my pie box journal. I just used an easy twine binding, which doesn't require any sewing. You can YouTube it. I think I used a old tutorial from Ephemera's Garden, I believe it was, with easy twine binding. It's a wonderful one. This one, I decided I want some cute stitches on the outside. So I've gone ahead, if y'all can see there, and I've poked the holes, and I've also gone ahead and poked the holes in, there we go. I don't know why I made that noise. In the signatures, if y'all can see. I'm pretty happy with it. I think they came out pretty even. So again, been on my best behavior. And I made, from the little bits that I trimmed off of these to make them the size for the journal, I made me little guides. So this is just a piece of paper that I cut that was the same size as the spine, and had all the places where my holes were marked, more or less. I'd made some of the lines crooked, so I kind of eyeballed some of it. And I have this old book block. I made some journals out of old library books that I picked up from a sale for like 5 cents, and this was one of the book blocks from it. And it's kind of my, keep from poking holes in my surfaces thing. And I have a book binding awl, which not necessary when I first started making journals. I'll be honest with y'all, I used a pen to stab. I had a old metal mechanical pencil that I stabbed with. Basically, you just need something pointy that you can make a hole that you can sew through with. So I don't recommend a pen, because why I stopped using a pen is because I cracked it and the ink just came out everywhere, although it did create a really neat effect. But there you go. And similarly, I took a scrap and I made a template for my signatures. So, and I marked it, and I just kind of eyeballed as best I could, did it like this, then go in here and poke the holes. So that way you're just not having to measure and do all that. I just keep scrap paper and I use those each time. So I think I've chosen, okay, this is the top. Okay. I think I've chosen the thread I want to use. And again, I'm doing an exposed spine, so that means you're actually going to be able to see the stitching on the outside. I think it'll be really cute against this denim. And normally you want to use, I guess, kind of like a book binding thread. Let me show y'all. It's like waxed linen thread. But I'm not doing that. But, that's what you're supposed to use. When I first started, I'll be honest with y'all, I've used dental floss, especially if you can get that kind that's like woven, not like the real thin plastic kind, but that's like woven. I've used jute. I've used butcher twine. I mean, just about anything. Now, if I was giving this to someone as a gift, I'd probably use the nice wax linen thread, but it's just for me. So I'm going to use this cute little baker's twine that I have. It's not as strong and whatever as the fancy stuff, but it's cute, and I've used it before in journals for myself, and it's just fun. And if it breaks, you know what, it's mine, and I can just replace it with something else and sew it. But I think this is going to be so cute. It's this little light blue. And I thought it was neat because it kind of plays off that light blue flower there. So, now's the moment of truth, though. And I get a whole big long bunch because I like to have to thread the dang needle as least often as possible, but I don't want to get it so long that my thread's going to be tangling and going on. So now these were the needles I had been using forever. They're just like line code binders needles. The eye on these is like painfully small, so I had forgotten, but when I opened up my little binding pouch, apparently I bought some larger eye needles. So we're going to test these puppies out. I've not tested them yet. Grab one of them. Oh, it looks pretty big though. We'll see. That'd probably be like, yeah, I know these almost look like a yarn needle, but they got a sharp end. Oh, but if this works, this eye is a lot better. Well, maybe. I need one of them little threader things. I got one in my sewing stuff over there, but I am not getting up to get it. I will sit here and suffer before I get up out of my chair. Okay. Dang it. Did I get it? Well, I got part of it. Daggone it. Let me cut it. This is my least favorite part. And my eyes are so bad, it's so hard for me to see to even get that threaded. I do like the old school. I lick it and then I smush it. And these are like a bunch of separate strings. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got it. These are a bunch of separate strings twisted together. So you have to get all three of them through there. All right, buddy. Now the question is, I'm going to put the clean edge on top and then this more rougher edge on the bottom. But the question is, I got to hopefully remember how to do this stitch because it's been a hot minute and I'm hoping I don't have to Google. But I'll Google if I got to Google. So I think this is called a pamphlet stitch. Don't quote me on that. But it's basically 3 holes and it's very, very simple. Not as simple as easy twine binding, but pretty simple. And if I'm remembering right, we start with the last signature and we work our way to the front. So first stitch is you're going to go in the middle. And again, I got way too much thread because y'all, I do not want to have to thread this dang needle any more than I have to. And we're going to similarly match it with the book or the outside. So we're going all the way in the middle of the outside and we're going to leave a pretty good tail because we're going to need that tail later. Okay. And I'm keeping it kind of loose for now because we may need to do some adjusting. So once we have it through the middle, we're going to go in the top or out the top. Maybe. Where's that hole? Where are you at, buddy? There you are. Alright. Oh, poot. Well, here's what happened, y'all. I accidentally pulled it out. So, this is a realistic tutorial. Right? And I got a knot. Well. There we go. We're going with it. So, we're going to go in through the middle again. And I'm going to leave a really nice tail. So I said if you want to do the thread long, do it, but don't do it to where it's going to be a tangling and a going on, because then you're really not saving yourself any time, are you? Okay, we're just going to leave a big old tail. I ain't doing that again. And then we're going to go, so went in through the middle, going to go out through the top, or maybe out through the middle, back in through the top. Y'all feel me? Oh. Sorry, bud. I hit the camera there. And then, similarly, we're going to match it with the signature. Okay, so now that we've got 2 stitches in, I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up a little bit. Not tighten it up, but get my tail manageable. Alright, give me a little bit longer tail. So we've gone in the middle, or no, out, yeah, in the middle, out the back, back up through the top. Now we're going to go through the bottom. So we're going to bring it all the way down to the bottom. And if you don't make your holes big enough, you kind of have to really get to it. Okay, you are the naughtiest thread. Okay. Alright, so we have that, and then we just have one more stitch, and this is the reason I leave it kind of loose. So we're going to go back through the middle where we originally started. So I leave it kind of loose so that I can play around with it, like I can move it and actually see where that hole is, you know. And it's getting all kinds of tangled. Okay, so that's what the back's looking like now. Awesome, awesome. Okay, and then where I came back through the middle, I'm just gonna cut a tail. There we go. So our stitching's done, so now we need to tighten it as much as we want. I don't like it too loose, I don't like it too tight. Doesn't that tell y'all about nothing, right? But you don't want it so loose when you're working in it, it's going to be sliding and going on, but you don't want it so tight to where when you start adding collage stuff to it, it's going to start ripping and have nowhere to kind of move or grow. And you want your first tail and your second tail to be on either side of this inside stitch, because how we're going to seal it off is we're going to make a knot. Alright, and then this is a style decision to make. You can cut these kind of short and just have them on the inside, but I've seen, and I think I'm going to leave it for now, people leave them long. I'm going to make them the same length though. And you kind of have a tail that sticks down when your book's, you know, I'll leave that for now. So that's the first one. It's in there. Okay, I'll do one more with y'all on camera here. So maybe this one will go a little better. Gotta get warmed up, right? It's been a little while. It's been a couple months since I've made a journal. So we're gonna go in through the center. And worst case, if you mess it up, you can just cut the stitches out and start all over. It ain't that deep. So gonna leave a pretty good tail, and then we're gonna match it with the cover. So we're going in through the center. I'm gonna grab this tail here so I don't just pull it right on through this time. Alright, then we're gonna go back in through the top. Maybe. There we go. Okay, and we don't have any knots. Okay, similarly, I'm going to match it with the signature. In through the top. Try not to poke myself. Bring it in. Okay, now that we've put it in through the top, on the inside we're going to go all the way down to the bottom and go through the bottom, I'm not worried about tightening things up quite yet. And now that we've gone out through the bottom, gonna go back through the center as best you can. All right. Sometimes where you've gone through it a couple of times, it can get kind of tight, kind of trying to go through there. Okay, making sure that it's not tangled out here. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut me a tail. Make it the... All right, and then we just want to make sure our original tail, oh wait, we want to tighten it up much as we want. It depends on what your purpose is going to be for this book, and all that good business. Okay. I'm just hitting everything. I tell y'all what, I'm just smacking the microphone, smacking the camera. Nothing is safe in this office. Okay, and you just want to make sure the tails are on either side of that inside stitch there. I wasn't trying to do that. Pointed with the wrong finger. Inside stitch there. And then we're just going to do a knot. And I'm going to leave the tails, because I figure if I decide I don't want them later, I can always cut them. Okay. And we'll just do one more. That one went kind of quick on camera here. So again, gonna go in through the middle, because I think I got enough to do one more before I have to get a new piece of thread. This is so chaotic, or what do they say, chaotic energy. Gosh, people that have chaotic energy stress me out. See, so in through the middle. I've, like, when I used to work customer service, just customers with chaotic energy, you're just like and then we're gonna go back. So we went in through the middle, or yeah, in the middle, and then we're gonna go up to the top. Try to keep my pages lined up here. So that's what I get for trying to talk and do things at the same time. This brain is not that good. Whoop. Oh, my tail there. Okay. So did the top. Now we're going to go out through the bottom. Hopefully y'all can follow me. I know I'm getting my ins and outs mixed up. It works in my head. We're the super technical art and DIY channel over here. So I went out through the bottom. Gonna go back in the middle for the final stitch in this signature. I'll just go with it. I have fun with this stuff, y'all. It ain't serious. I have a job that's pretty serious, so this type of stuff, I have fun with it, or I wouldn't do it. Okay, let's get my tails matching. Like, this is a retreat from that, you know what I mean? So anyway, so we want to tighten that up as much as we think and hope for the best. Make sure there's no weird things on my outside stitches. Okay, and we're going to knot it off. Alright, so I might have done that one a little tight, but here's what we have so far. So here's the outside. They're sort of kind of equidistant. Good enough for me, buddy. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to stop here and get the rest of these in, and then I'll be right back, because there's no use in y'all sitting here watching me do the same thing 4 more times. But kind of got the idea. I see people be intimidated by sewing pages in, and it is not bad at all, y'all. It is not bad at all. Super easy, especially if you do like this method or easy twine binding, and you can do so many fun things with it. And some people, they get all fancy, y'all. They do like patterns and stuff back here. I mean, it looks cool, like where it almost looks like a braid and stuff. Like that would require, you know, a pattern and things. Like I used to knit all the time, and that's what that reminds me of. But anyway, I'm gonna get these sewed in, and I'll be back and we'll see what we got going on. Alrighty, y'all, I'm back. I got everything sewed in. Hope y'all can follow along with that. I don't know why, like when I try to tell people what I'm doing while I'm doing it, it's like I've never done it before. But here's what the outside stitching looks like after all 7 signatures. You almost play a guitar with it. And I got an idea, of course, after I finish, but I need to remember it. You could actually do, so I was debating whether to use this light blue and white one and a brown and white. I could have done every other. Does that make sense? It could have been like blue, brown, blue, brown. That would have looked really cute. So I just thought I would throw that out there. But here's what it looks like from the top. And then let's see how the signatures actually lay. So pretty flat. So that's one thing. Again, I think this is going to be a collage journal. Time will tell. That's what's in my head at the moment. So I wanted it to be able to lay really flat, and I wanted, you know, to where I could collage across the 2 pages if I wanted. And it's at all points in the book. So the first signature is looking pretty good. Yeah, it lays really nice and flat. I think I like using the smaller amount of pages with more signatures instead of cramming big old signatures in there, and then the space between the signatures isn't too bad for collage. And what I mean by that, like in this one I used 21 pages. I did, each signature had 3 pages and I had 7 signatures. But you could also do, like, honestly, you could do 3 signatures of 7 pages. But what you're going to have, and I've totally done stuff like that before, just done like 3 or 4 signatures. That's what I usually do, actually. I guess it depends on what you're doing. Like junk journal, you can totally do that. But you get these real bulky signatures, and it just doesn't lie as flat to me. And when you get, let me show you, this is just me talking through this for some of y'all. When you get to this point, there's usually a really big space between the signatures. And I don't know, just something to think about, something I've just played around with and going on. So I think it lays pretty good. And I got quite a bit of room to expand. So as you see, you know, I did fill it a little bit. I probably could have got away with 6 signatures, honestly. I was worried that I was underfilling it so much. When I cut my little tails a little shorter, I didn't want them long. But I think it'll be good. I think I'm mainly going to use magazine in here, so it shouldn't bulk up too much past that. And I know I'm going to end up doing some type of decorations on the inner and outer covers, but I think I'm going to let this journal come into existence and be working in it until I see what exactly I want to add there. I don't like to go ahead and add those until the journal kind of has its own, probably sound crazy, but the journal has like its own personality and everything. Oh, I moved my phone there. Sorry. Has that been there the whole time? Shoot. I have to check back, see if anything important popped up. But I do have these little doohickeys that I picked up, and I have book corners somewhere. Oh, hold on. Maybe they're in here. I reorganized everything, and I can't find nothing. Let me look real quick here, guys. No, I don't see them there. I'll find them eventually. Oh well. But anyway, but I did find these, because these were in with my twine and stuff. They're like these little, what you call them, that go, they don't go over the corner, but they're kind of just decorative. What y'all think? Should I put that on there? I think that might be a neat addition to go like all the way frou. It's also kind of cool. It looks like wings a little bit too. It doesn't show very well on camera, does it? Let me see if maybe I do it like that. I think I'm going to add it. Like in person, it makes a nice impact. On camera, you can't really see anything. So we'll kind of have that be the final flourish, if you will. I guess I'll have to do, since I've already done the dang on pages in there, I'm going to have to do like the top and then the bottom, because I don't want to, I don't know. I'm just going to use some good old tacky glue. Well, if I can get my hand to grip it. This is a good hand strength exercise, my lord. And I'm not worrying about gooping it because, again, as I've said previous sections, it dries clear. So we will just goop away. Okay, this one's kind of bent. I should have checked that before I went and laid the glue to it, huh? I think it'll be okay though. We'll do this one. Okay, my right hand is not strong enough. There we go. I'm left-handed, so I guess that makes sense. My right hand's a wuss. And I'm just going to eyeball it and hope for the best. Alright now, why are these so janky? There we go. Let me try to kindly eyeball it a little bit straight. And I want to get it as close to the corner as I can. This is a two-hand job here. There we go. Cute. And I move this one when I done that. Cute. See. Ah, sugar. Okay. Good enough. I'll let those dry on there. But yeah, and then once those dry, I'm going to give it however long, probably a couple hours if I'm still awake, because it's almost 10 o'clock right now. Get this glue off my hands here in a bit too. Y'all know I got to get my hands in there with it. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this long, rambly, fumbly putting together a journal. Haven't done one of these videos in a while, and I just like to do them every once in a while to just show y'all. It's super approachable to be able to make a journal. We used a taco box. We used old pieces of denim from a pair of jeans I had. You know, just scrapbook paper, sketchbook paper, whatever. And I mean, you don't even have to use that. I have made journals with all like junk mail papers. Some of those they're pretty thick. Some of those advertisements. I mean, you can use anything. So yeah, this was a taco box, and now it's a cute little flower lacy denim deal here. So hope y'all enjoyed it. I know this is a longer one and a little bit different from my art videos. And look at all this happy floral and lace. I like cute stuff and pretty stuff too, y'all, with the dark stuff. But I guess we can have it all combined, can't we? Because who knows what this journal is going to end up being, right? But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you enjoy these more like construction, craft, DIY things, let me know. I would enjoy doing some of these on the channel every once in a while. So yeah, thank y'all so much. And I'm going to get to winding down and reading and going to bed. Bye, y'all.